I work as a counselor at the most notorious juvenile prison in the state of Utah. It is called Decker Lake Youth Center. We take care of high-risk juveniles between the age of 15 and 18 who involved in gangs or committed some violent crimes, including killing or murder. It is a very stressful place. There are lots of duress. Residents try to fight one another, and it's common that they always try to threaten the staff. I've been there for only 7 years, and I'm the longest service employee. The turnover is pretty high. Some of my previous co-workers were either fired, resigned, or moved on. Today, I'll share with you one thing I've learned, and I'm still learning, to practice every day to cope with stress at my work. This one thing is not popular in psychology. I've been looking online to find out how people deal with stress in so many articles on the topic. In Psychology Today website, there's an article entitled "The 7 Ways Mentally Strong People Use to Deal with Stress." Another website says the 10 ways that mentally strong people deal with stress. Another website says the 9 ways. Another says the 5 ways that mentally strong people deal with stress. And guess what? This one thing I'm going to share with you today doesn't appear in any of those articles. So I'd like to entitle my talk today, "The One Way That Mentally Weak People Deal with Stress." I remember my first day at work. I was sitting in one of the couches in the unit where I was working, and this kid came and sat beside me, touched and rubbed his hand over my head, and mockingly made fun of me. I was so mad, and I wanted to connect my fist with his eyebrow. And I said to him, "You know, in some culture, they'll kill you if you do that." He laughed. I stood up and walked away feeling disrespected, humiliated, and really mad. I was also scared that I'd lose my temper and beat one of those kids and I'd end up in prison myself. So it became a daily experience. I gravitate in between the feeling of anger and anxiety. So I did what most of us do when we're in desperate situation. I prayed. At first I used prayer as a crutch. I just did it because I needed God's help. I asked God to help me, to protect me, to change these kids' hearts. I asked God to calm me down, to give me peace. I prayed in a way I've never prayed before. In fact, I prayed more at work than at home or at church. Whether we are in a courtyard or at the gym or inside the unit, I talk to God in my mind or quietly mumbling to myself so the kids would not hear or recognize that I was praying. Guess what? After the first 4 months, I struggled even more with stress. I was an angry man at work. I dread every day I go to work. It seemed that prayer was not working. I hit the bottom of my profession on this particular day when this kid swore at me right at my face and threatened to beat me up. Tired of being disrespected, I walked into this storage room where there was no camera and called him to come, and I said, "If you want to beat me, come and beat me here." Thankfully, the kid was in his right mind, while I was not. If he did, I'd be in jail. After that incident, I was so scared, and I made a decision that either resign or I had to change. I chose to change. I decided that if my prayer was going to be effective, I had to realign my life a little bit more, to be more in line with the person to whom I prayed. That realignment is a process of journey, and it's still happening today. I always ask God for peace which is beyond all understanding to guard my heart. I ask that I'd grow to love these kids. I ask for courage to do my job. In this prayerful journey, I experience a slow transformation in my heart. I experience peace more that I never experienced before. I grow genuinely to love these kids and care for them. Sometimes I feel a bit of anxiety, but I manage well.